my phone.
Okay, hi sluts. Pussy, mind, body, spirit, soul. What is slut camp? Let's get into it. Blocked immediately. Welcome back. Hello, sluts. Welcome back to this new slut edition of Slut Camp. I'm so fucking excited because this story is probably one of my top 3, to be honest. So you're in for a real fucking treat. Strap the fuck in, get a drink, sit down, get your makeup, put it on, get ready. Make a little drinky drink. Make a little tequila situation because tequila makes you horny. Tequila makes you want to dance. Tequila is a mythical upper. So fuck vodka, drink tequila. Thank you. That is my PSA. The slut affirmation for this episode, for you, for your girls. And this is more of like a tip, but I guess think about it as you go into your night. Don't be scared. Go for the balls. Play them like you're Mozart and you're composing Requiem like a piano. Thank you. Cheers. Oh, Jesus. We did it. Okay, let's fucking dive in. Our topic of today's story time is old men and why they're the best when you need them. It starts like this. It's any other night, any other Friday actually, this is a Thursday night. I think nothing good happens on a Thursday night, I've decided, but I decided to go out with my friend. And it's one of those weeks that's just so shitty. And it's like, I'm going out with the intention, if we're going to this said bar, I'm going to either have fun with my friend and maybe talk to a cute guy and maybe get a free tequila soda, or I'm going to go home and cry about XYZ reason. So I chose go to the bar with my friend, meet a cute guy, whatever. Because at this certain bar, and I won't say the name, but you know exactly what I'm talking about if you live in the city. It's more men than women. It's in the West Village, and that's basically all I need to say. And there's usually a fucking line. So my friend and I wait online. We get inside. And it's like within 5 minutes, it's like the universe was like, we're here to fuck you, and not in a kind way. It's like we walk in, my friend is like approached by 5 or 6 different guys immediately the second we walk in. And it's like, okay, perfect. Obsessed. Like, she is stunning, beautiful, love her so much. But I'm basically pushed aside like, okay, invisible. Of course, I let it get to my head because it happens. Every girl has had this experience wherever the fuck you live. I don't care if it's in New York. I don't care if it's in LA. It's like the ass crack of the middle of the United States. Like, it is always going to happen at some point in a woman's life, which is so fucking sad because it should never happen this way. But anyways, I'm basically like chopped liver. I'm like, okay, like perfect. I want to leave. So I said to my friend, I'm like, we do so fucking well at a sports bar. Should we leave? Like being like, you know, like, let's fucking go. And she's like, of course. Like, oh my God, let's get the fuck out. Like, you're not having fun. Fine. That is a G. If your friend is not saying that as the response, or at least giving a reason why you should stay, that is like making you want to stay, then they're not your fucking friend. So we walk outside and I immediately start like breaking down in tears. Like, it's like emotional city up in this bitch. I'm not a crier. I'm not an emotional person. So that was like a weak moment for me. And I am starting to cry. And my friend's like, you know, like, Emma, like, don't make this about them. Like, they fucking suck. Like, it's just like this atmosphere being in that place. Like, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot, whatever. Regardless, she tries to like amp me up. She tries to like give me like the hype woman that she's being. It's fucking great. All of a sudden, these 3 guys walk up. They look at me, the middle guy, who is like tall, dark, and handsome. Like, they don't look old. But I found out later that they were. They don't look old. Old in the sense that like they look like they're maybe like late 30s. So I was like, you know, and I do love an older man. Like, I'm not looking for a like teeny bopper, like old man. Comes up to me, South African accent, like sexual. He's literally like, why are you crying? Like, your eyes are so beautiful. I'm like, literally, thank you. But this bar was terrible. I'm just like having a moment, like trying to like get rid of him kind of. And he's like, no, takes my hands. You're not having a bad night. I'm buying you a drink. Like, whatever. If you have a bad time inside with me, you can go home. I'm like, okay, Poppy. So he takes me inside, walks straight past the bouncer. It is like, he's been here before and I'm ignoring that. But like, okay, sick. He just goes straight in, walks straight up to the bar. He's like, what do you want? I'm like, I want 4 French 75s. He orders me literally 4 French 75s. I was like, okay. 4 French 75s on deck. My friend is sitting next to me. She's like getting chatted up the wazoo by all these men. I'm like, you're fine. Like, you go dick off somewhere else. This man is accompanied by 2 other men, one of which is apparently his birthday. He's hammered. He is flirting with anyone that has a pulse. I'm like obsessed. The other one looks like he wants to leave and never wake up again. Like, he is so pissed to be there. I'm like, literally my 2 moods. Me and this guy, the South African accent, he is just chatting me up. He is like eye contact. He's so tender. Like, it was giving what it needed to give in that moment. The universe was like, here you go, bitch. Here's your lemons. Like, squeeze them, make lemonade. So I made a French 75. I'm chatting with him. I'm basically standing like in between his legs. We start making out, whatever. It's hot. We're talking. I'm like, thank fucking literally God. Like, this is what I needed. Having the best time, drinking my drinks, chatting with this man, God knows about what. All of a sudden, his friend comes up and he's like, something about our wives. And I'm like, are you married? I'm like, what wife? Wives? Wives, plural. Are you guys married? And he's like, yeah, we're all married. And I was like, you don't seem fucking married. Like, what? He's like, oh yeah, we're in open marriages. And I was like, this is fucked. I was like, okay, perfect. So I turned to my mans and I'm like, are you married? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. I'm like, do you have kids? He's like, yeah, 2. I'm like, oh, okay, perfect. I'm like trying to do the math in my head. I'm like, he looks 40 something. Like, I like couldn't tell at this point. I continued to try to ignore, and I'm like thinking in my head, obviously as I'm drunk, I'm like, this isn't my problem. Like, this is clearly his problem. I go up to the drunk friend. He's like flirting with all these guys. And I was like, what, does he not have a wife? Like, what's happening? And this guy that I'm talking to originally, South African, he says, oh, he's like, he's gay when he's drunk. I'm like, wait, like, what? Okay, like, obsessed. The other one who's pissed off, I'm like, he seems reliable and trustworthy. And I go up to him and I'm like, is this man married? Like, actually? And is he in an open marriage? Like, what? Like, give me the fucking 411. And he's like, we're all married. He's in an open marriage with his wife for the past like 10 years. And it's like just for the kids. I'm like, that's all I needed to hear. I just needed reassurance that I'm not like doing something. I'm not like train wrecking this bitch. So I go back to him and I'm like, okay, fine. Like, whatever, we're already here. Like, give me your ID so I can see like if you are who you say you really are. In my blacked out drunken state, I'm like trying to be responsible slightly. And I'm like, give me your ID. I take his ID. I'm looking at it and it says the date of birth. And I'm like, me trying to do like math I'm literally a communication major. I'm like, says 19 something. I'm like, how the fuck old are you? And he's like, 54. And I'm like, okay, 54. Okay. My father is also around there. I'm like, okay, and you have how many kids? He's like, 2. I'm like, yes, okay. Pushing it aside, doesn't matter. It's fine. It's cool. Everything's fine. Namaste. It's good. He's like, how old are you? I'm like, guess. He's like, 25. I'm like, I'll take it. He's like, no. And I'm like, okay, 23. It's the same thing. He's like, I figured. I'm like, okay, like rude. We keep talking. Eventually we go back to the hotel they were staying at because this man is fully like from Connecticut. Like he's like, oh, I visit on the weekends, I have work, and then I go out on the weekends. It's like, you know, the work hard, play hard mentality. I'm like, sure, mine looks a little different, but okay. And we take him back to the hotel, the drunk friend who is flirting with all the men, who has a wife and kids. I'm like, perfect. Drop his ass off. I'm like, in retrospect, why couldn't you get another hotel room if you are 54 and clearly have money? But okay. We go back to my apartment. Okay, this is a flex room. If you live in New York, it is fucking small. Okay, this man, my bed touches both walls in the room. I am 5'5" and my feet are fucking like pressing against the wall when I wake up. So you can imagine this like 6'5" man is like in my bed in the morning. I'm like, what the actual fuck is going on? He leaves in the morning. I don't have his phone number. I don't have his middle name. I don't have his social security number. Literally nothing. I have his first name and his last name. I'm like, literally bye. Immediately he leaves my room. I'm texting my friends. I'm like, an old, I did not say his age. I was like, an old man, a married man with 2 kids just left my room. My friends are obviously concerned. They're like, should we call someone? Like, are you okay? I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, that needed to happen. Like, I'm resurrected. Like, this was so needed because you have to just have like something fucking crazy happen to you like that, where it's like, okay, put into perspective, like when something doesn't go your way, you got something fucking crazy happen to you, and that's like going to dictate, well, it would dictate for me like what is to come or wherever you are living. That's the thing. It's like you're in your early 20s. It really doesn't fucking matter what you do, because again, we're in this era of living because you didn't get to. All this to say, basically, if you are going out and you have a night like that, you have a night that you're kind of like, what the fuck just happened to me? And maybe you don't have those nights often, and you do. It's like, it's meant to happen for you. It's meant to kind of ruffle your feathers in a way that's like, okay, if I can get this 54-year-old married man with 2 kids to see me on the street fucking crying, probably looking like shit, being like, she's so pretty, like eyes are sick, whatever the fuck, I don't know, then who the fuck cares if 5 or 6 men don't come up to you in that bar? Like, you can get much better, and someone that'll appreciate you when you are quote unquote at your worst. Cheers. Take your last shot, go out, shake ass, have fun, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye, sluts.
Anyways.